Charlie Bazzini, the investigator. I'm going to take you through the crime scene video, murder of Elisabeth Membrey. As we know, Shane Bond was charged with this offence. As you see the video starts as any crime scene would with the outside of the house. It depicts the car in a driveway, which was Elisabeth's. You can then see it being fingerprinted and the likes. A lot of things have changed of how they record crime scene these days. You wouldn't now see that the fingerprints are done first. The video would be done in its pristine situation with no forensic cases inside the room and the fingerprints not already undertaken. The video would show it as the first person who found the house as it was in its pristine condition. We're looking for forced entry signs on doors and windows. That's going to tell us obviously certain things of whether the person was allowed into the house or not. There was apparently no signs of a struggle inside the house. Things are fairly neat, which then tells you a lot of things. Was she surprised? Was the door unlocked? Again, these aspects you've got to look at with an open mind. We then see that the TV's not on. That tells us that the person wasn't watching TV clearly, or may not have been watching TV. The offender may have turned the TV off. Same as the lights and the curtains. That either will give an indication only, but you don't take it for gospel because we don't know what the offender has then undertaken. You go into the kitchen. Is there a meal prepared? No, there's not. Is there coffee? There's a particular one coffee cup in the sink you can see. There is no meal being prepared. You look at the stove and any dishes. You know that all tells us a story about was she preparing a meal at the time, which then gives us the time of where the particular or what the time of the offence may have taken place. You look at the rubbish bin, because it's not unlikely that you would find rubbish evidence in the rubbish. So then you look at a whole gambit of everything within the crime scene. You take nothing for granted. You then look in the laundry. No clothes in the laundry. Has she been surprised in the laundry when she's doing the clothes? And no apparent sign of that. No washing in the machine. Was the iron on or off? Again, telling you certain things. Was she surprised and then held captive for a while? As you can see, there's blood on the carpet in the hallway. Again, clearly that's where the offence has taken place in relation to her injuries. Whilst there's still, you can see some blood splatter on the wall, that tells us certain things from directional blood splatter. They then put little marks on the wall to indicate which wall it is, because by looking at the blood splatter to the person who's not been to a crime scene, it's not going to tell them which wall that was on. So there's the little tags you see on the wall gives you which wall it was, the height, and gives you dimensions also. You look at showers. Was the shower wet or not? She just had a shower. And again, trying to pinpoint a time. Whilst there's not significant blood on in the crime scene, you would think if she was stabbed, you would get a lot more blood prior to removing the body. That might tell you a number of things. Did the body lay there? Was the blood flow stemmed initially? You know, why have we got that amount of blood? Again, these tags are put on in all areas then to identify certain things. From the photographs that I've seen, I understand there was a fingernail found on the carpet in amongst the blood staining. Again, that tells you certain things. But looking at a close-up of the fingernail, you could see it was neatly cut. But again, these things aren't taken for granted. Everything is collected, and then whether they could get DNA, only the experts can then tell us. Or there might be human tissue underneath the fingernail. You know, these things are the minute things that we are looking for in relation to what evidence we can glean from a crime scene. As I'll reiterate, you know, the improvements that have gone on from crime scene examination since '94 to now is quite significant, and they've become more minute in relation to DNA collection and fingerprinting and the like. So, you know, there's a more pristine examination of a crime scene, because it's the crime scene that's going to give me that nexus, that connection between the offender and the deceased and that particular house.